What's going on, Price Out Nation, NutraBio's Bio Crew, and all the first responders out there? This is Mike Roberto with Price Bio, and before we begin, two huge thank yous coming in this video. First off, thank you to all the first responders who are on the front lines. Today is April 19th of 2020. We're in the middle of quite a wild situation, especially up in the tri-state area. NutraBio is in New Jersey, Middlesex, New Jersey. And so a thank you, not just to the first responders, especially all the first responders and everyone on the front lines in New York, but a thank you to NutraBio, because the brand led by CEO Mark Glazier has done such incredible things with during this horrible crisis. Now, NutraBio is a supplement brand that's, like I said, in Middlesex, New Jersey, and we do have a long-going sponsored relationship with them. I'm not calling this a sponsored video or anything, because this product that we're going to talk about real quickly is actually not even for sale here, and I almost feel bad that it was given to me because there's a first responder who doesn't have this. And so I'm going to take my time to kind of just say thank you to NutraBio for doing everything that they can do during this crisis. Obviously, Mark Glazier, he can't change your diet. He doesn't have he doesn't have a time machine from 5 years ago. He's not a doctor. Can't solve the crisis. But one thing that Mark can do and does very, very well, and that's the reason why we work with him all the time, he can make some damn good supplements. He can do it fast, and he does it effectively. And the fact is that he has a manufacturing plant that you can go and tour in Middlesex, New Jersey, and he has done such great things, such as, first off, these labels here are always completely fully disclosed, down to the amount of salt and sucralose and coloring in here, beta carotene, natural color, 50 milligrams, every last ingredient, always fully disclosed. But even more importantly, which is something I wish that we saw more, especially in not only in supplements but also in food, is that we see third-party lab tests published online from NutraBio at another website called checkmysubs.com, and they are always showing us exactly how it works out and how the products tested out at a third-party lab. And even though, and Mark and I have talked about this in other videos in the past, we've done the plant tour, we can link back to those videos on YouTube, even though it's legally required for supplements out there to get to test the incoming materials and to test their product before going out the door, no one publishes their lab tests. Or I can count on my hand the number of companies that actually publish those lab tests publicly. NutraBio does. And so that's the reason why when there's a product that we're just not sure, it's like maybe it's an herbal extract, echinacea, which is not in this first response product. When there's an herbal extract that could be iffy, you want the third-party lab test, and NutraBio does publish them. So throughout this whole crisis, if you follow Mark Glazier on Instagram, he's at the Mark Glazier, or on Facebook, mark.glazier.52, you'll notice that he has been working around the clock during this crisis. Make sure that NutraBio keeps its doors open, their employees stay employed, and in fact, I think he's hired even more people for this project here. But not only that, pumping out as much of the supplements that can possibly help with immunity as possibly can, and not charging a ton for it. But even more importantly, the first responders out there on the front lines, especially in New York, where this crisis is by far the worst, aren't able to get everything, whether it's because the stores are closed, because the shelves are empty, everything's out of stock, it takes, there's delivery problems, whatever it may be. Mark Glazier is pounding it out, and he's also giving a ton, especially the tri-state area first responders, a ton of this supplement out. Now, when Mark told me about this, he said he couldn't go with any allergens or anything like that. So there's not going to be an echinacea or certain the yeast extracts that we talk about in our Epicor video or any of that. But this is a great vitamin and mineral supplement to get your immune system at least some of the tools that it needs to fight off pathogens. Now, they also have a supplement for sale called Immune. We're not going to talk about that here in this video, but we do have a blog post where we will talk about the ingredients that are in this on top of what's in first response. But first response, well, I guess so. The whole story here is I'm about to start doing some filming. We're going to do some videos. I got some NutraBio stuff to talk about, including that immune supplement. Normally on these days, we start with a energy drink or pre-workout to get me going and everything for these film days. And today is going to be a special occasion, though, because we are going to do a thank you and a cheers to Mark Glazier and NutraBio with a tub of this first response that they are giving away to first responders. Started in the tri-state area, but I think there's been police officers and nurses and fire crews and all sorts of other EMTs getting this all around the country, and Mark's been pumping this stuff out for free, sending it out like the man he is. Because if there's one thing Mark can do, it's test and ship a ton of supplements. And that's what they're doing. They have the supplies, they're using the good minerals and everything like that. And so cheers to Mark Glazier. So it's like kind of got that tang flavor. Have you ever had like a high dose vitamin C type product? It's an orange flavor, a little bit of tanginess, but then the sucralose helps sweeten things out and everything. Really well done and quickly, especially on a quick job that Mike had to put together here. Get my immunity up here. So really quickly, what this label has for all the first responders out there who are fortunate enough to get this, and I'm like sorry that I even am holding this tub here. Should probably just give it away to someone here in Texas. Although we're not nearly as badly affected as New York. Vitamin C, we have 3 grams, 3,330% daily recommended value. Remember, those daily recommended values are like what it takes to not have a deficiency. But there's a lot of people who claim high dose IV vitamin C is important in a lot of cases, but we can't do that obviously right here. But high dose, mega dosing vitamin C is a great way to boost the antioxidant profile. And in general, the studies seem to show that like if you start hitting that vitamin C pretty hard, if you start getting sick, maybe a half a day to a day of shortened time of like having the cold. Of course, like the situation going on is completely different, but in general, the immunity research shows that like loading up on these antioxidants give you a half a day to a day less of symptoms, which I don't know, when it tastes as good as this, I'll drink it for nothing, but at the same time, you drink it for an hour less of symptoms. When you're sick, you just do anything to get it done. Next up, vitamin D, vitamin D3 specifically, 2,000 IUs, and that's 250% of the daily recommended value, which I personally, it depends on the weather. Like right now, I'm not getting a whole lot of vitamin D here. It's cloudy out here. I have a lot of opinions, but I take 5,000 IUs a day during the winter time. And if I'm like swimming outside here in Texas and sunny, I probably don't worry about it as much. But 2,000 IU I think is a very, very safe bet. And you're going to get not only just like a ton of immune benefits, but you're also going to get like antidepressive mood benefits too. Like anyone who tells you to avoid sunshine, I think they need to be put away. Let's just put it that way. It's like sunshine is so critical to so many things. Vitamin D is not even really a vitamin. And we talk about this a lot on our blog. It's actually a hormone that's synthesized by the skin thanks to the sunlight. But we avoid sunlight so much, we become so unhealthy. And so the connection, there's a strong, strong connection. When you look at people who get sick, a lot of times they're vitamin D deficient. Now, it doesn't mean that being full of vitamin D is the only thing that's going to help you, but it's just one more thing that weakens your immune system if you're not getting enough sunlight and not getting enough vitamin D in general. So, hey, if it's cloudy out, you can still supplement it. 2,000 IU, I think, is a very good, safe bet for a product such as this. Plus, your multivitamins probably got a little bit. But yeah, me personally, I'm 5,000 IU a day kind of person. There are studies that show higher, so it takes a while to get to the toxicity. 2,000 IUs, not a problem at all. After that, zinc, well-known immune booster. And so zinc here is in the form of zinc citrate, which is a lot of times those cheap zinc lozenges have zinc oxide. That stuff's not that good. Your body's not going to absorb it. Zinc citrate will get absorbed a little bit better. And then in their NutraBio's immune system, they have the really expensive zinc. And so zinc helps with also, there was a study maybe it was like 10 years ago with the zinc lozenges where they actually shortened the amount of time for flu and cold by like a day or two. And zinc is also a part of the main regimen in fighting the coronavirus. So the doctors who like are dealing with that up front with the medications and everything, the most effective one is actually using zinc. It's a great immunity booster. Too many people aren't eating enough red meat. I talk about this all the time on our channel. Got to get your zinc in. And then in addition, something we don't see enough or don't talk about enough, 330% of daily value, 3 milligrams of the high quality chelated form of copper. It's going to get absorbed better. And so we don't talk about copper a whole lot, but it helps with the red blood cells. We're talking about a lot of these different vitamins and aminos will help with the white blood cells, but the red blood cells get a little bit of a boost from copper, but it can still also increase or prevent the deficiency, at least, of lower T cell counts, which are hugely important for your immune system as well. So really cool supplement here. And then finally, a whole 600 milligram dose of NAC, N-acetyl L-cysteine, which is the precursor. The cysteine is provided as a precursor to the super powerhouse antioxidant glutathione. glutathione. And I've used glutathione-based supplements, or I've used NAC-based supplements for a long time because it really helps out with liver detoxification, for instance. And there's a lot of evidence showing that this is incredibly important for lung health. And so NAC is an ingredient that a lot of people don't know about, but they probably should, because it leads to the formation of glutathione, which is the most important antioxidant. So we have a ton of different antioxidant boosters in here, and Mark Glazier and the team at NutraBio are giving them away for free. So I just gotta say thank you to Mark for doing such an incredible job out there. I know there's a lot of people who are struggling right now. I know there's a lot of brands who are struggling right now. I know that there's a lot of people getting laid off, and it's terrible, and it sucks. It really does. And you can just see that, like, Glazier is he's the man. He's putting his money where his mouth is, literally. And he's like working around the clock. Like, I get texts from him like 2 a.m., blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, like, get some sleep at some point. I told him I'd send him some stimulants, but he's already got enough there. And that's the thing. At NutraBio, they have all the high quality minerals. They already have the vitamins. They already have the flavor, and they already got the powders. So they're just getting out there, and they're doing everything they can to keep this stuff on the streets. And not only that, if you check out their Facebook, they also set up like an alcohol hand sanitizing pump station with spray bottles and everything, because the police officers can't get any hand sanitizer, and they're the ones touching everything. And so you can swing by, apparently, I'm not sure if that's still happening, but you can swing by NutraBio's facility and fill up your alcohol sanitizing bottles. And I'm not sure where Mark Glazier gets this stuff, but he's got the connections and he gets it, and he is just giving so much away for free. And this is why we love them. Thank you so much to NutraBio. Thank you, Mark Glazier, but even a greater thank you to all the first responders out there, especially in New York, dealing with the thick of this. Hopefully, we get this under control soon. I think, like, out here in Texas, it's really kind of, and not to downplay, but it's kind of a nothing burger out here. But in New York, where there's a lot of public transportation, on subways, there's a new study showing that the people who are on the subway the furthest out, on the subway the longest, the most stops, more people in and out, they're on the longest amount of time, are the ones getting affected the worst. And then we lock them down at home with their grandparents, and it's just so many things are just going wrong. It's just so horrible to read about. And so not everyone has like all the open spaces. Like the last day I'm filming out here, not everyone has all the open space, and a lot of times we do have to take public transportation. You can't avoid rush hour, and it's just, I don't know what to say. It's a tough situation up there, and a lot of us really don't understand it because we're not there in the thick of it. But NutraBio is, and they're doing everything they can to help fight the good fight. And we gotta say thank you for that. So got a few other videos to do. I'm gonna talk about the echinacea, which you could always add to supplements like this. If you're looking at this product, this isn't for sale. The immune one is. You can check out priceline.com/NutraBio, but I don't want to talk sales or anything. I just want to say thank you and give this a good old taste testing. And that's it. So thanks again, Mark. And thanks again, NutraBio. We'll see you guys later.
Welcome to Price Plow.